But my point is that JD...
You know, Arnab, I would like to state that the fact of the matter is that Pakistan as a nation suffers from obsessive, compulsive behavior. It has been evident from 47, 48 onwards. They have tried 4 times to take Kashmir by force. They failed. Then they have tried asymmetric war to take Kashmir by force. They have failed. Now they are trying to take the case again to the United Nations in the forlorn hope that they could get it now. Let me assure you, you may end up losing more territory. You state that Kashmir is disputed
Pakistan,
territory.
Why
How
don't
then
you
have
go
you
to United
permitted
Nations and
China?
ask the United Nations
How
that
then
reverse
have
this
you
resolution?
permitted
Simple.
China to
Go and
create
go
a
and
road,
that, na?
tunnels and bridges through Gilgit-Baltistan? If it is disputed territory, how have you permitted China to construct roads in that territory? That is by your definition. We think Kashmir is disputed territory only and only as far as Pakistan occupied Kashmir is concerned. Only Pakistan occupied Kashmir is the only part in dispute. And let me tell you, let me tell you, my friend, you want Jammu and Kashmir, come and get it. Let's see you get it. You can forget about it. अरे साहब सुन लीजिए, एक मिनट सुन लीजिए, आपके लगातार चिल्लाने से कश्मीर आपको मिल नहीं जाएगा. आपके लगातार चीखने से आपको कश्मीर नहीं मिलने वाला. आपको लेना है, आप आके लेके दिखा दीजिए.
आप कश्मीर के मामू ना बने, आप कश्मीर के मामू ना बने, आप कश्मीर के मामू ना बने. Let people of Kashmir decide what they want.
Get it. That is what we are telling you. You have the dam. Come and get Kashmir.
Statement coming from Prime Minister Imran Khan as well, that yes, peace needs to be given a chance, because you see, we attach bravery and courage and valor with war, but let me tell you, only stupid and silly people can begin a war, and only wise people can end a war and bring about long-term peace.
On the broadcast from Pakistan at this point, Munib Qadir, how do you look at the statement that has been made by the ex-president? I mean, he's been pretty unequivocal. He hasn't really minced his words there.
No, he hasn't minced his words, but do not mistake his words either. He said that India is going to be so prepared that for every 1 atomic bomb, they would have 20. So you need to make sure you've got 50, which you can. But then, you know, I would like to ask, do we need the situation that Pakistan comes up with 50 atomic bombs? Because that is exactly what Pervez Musharraf Saab has also questioned, that you would not want all of that. And let me tell you, Prime Minister Mr. Modi, Prime Minister Mr. Imran Khan, in the last 2 days have both softened their tones as well. Prime Minister Modi, day before yesterday, had reminded Mr. Khan of the fact that they both talked about fighting off poverty and illiteracy. And Mr. Imran Khan has also yesterday reiterated that, you know, peace must be given a chance. So everyone involved, both India and Pakistan, are aware of the fact that we cannot afford to go to war, not because we don't have the resources, but because it would be futile and would not address the elephant in the room, which is that there needs to be a resolution to the Kashmir issue, and that too peacefully. And scrapping of Article 370 and 335A is not the solution. That was not the solution that was reached in the United Kingdom. Their separatist leaders like Nicola Sturgeon are sitting in the parliament. So we need to address human rights, both India and Pakistan.
Isn't it embarrassing at this point for Pakistan? I mean, we've seen your Prime Minister speak in 2 different tones, and then you have Pervez Musharraf warning his own country.
Isn't it embarrassing that Mr. Modi also softened his tone day before yesterday? It should not be embarrassing. What kind of a question is that? In response to Mr. Modi's softening of tone, even our Prime Minister has reminded him that yes, we must give peace a chance. Otherwise, our Prime Minister is quite much onto his stance that Pakistan has the means and also the intention to retaliate if need be. The point is, the need should not arise. Again, I'm saying that you have misunderstood Mr. Pervez Musharraf's words. He's not said that Pakistan does not have 50 bombs in response to India's 20. He just says that that need should not arise. And I believe, listening to Mr. Modi's statements as well, even the intention is not even there, but the preparations are. Our Chief of Army Staff, Mr. Bajwa, visited the line of control and the troops positioned there to check whether they are all prepared that if a war were to break out.
But is that really the perception in Pakistan that Prime Minister Modi softened his stance in the last 48 hours?
Yeah, he has. If you look at his statement that he made day before yesterday, he's categorically said that Pakistan, we are looking up to it and looking forward to it. Actually, not up, we're looking forward to it, living up to its promises very well. Because that's true, Mr. Imran Khan has made promises. Then Prime Minister Modi has said that what we should focus more on rather than fighting with one another is to fight off other demons and menaces such as poverty and illiteracy. Again, a very wise statement to come from him. Followed by a very wise statement coming from Prime Minister Imran Khan as well, that yes, peace needs to be given a chance. Because you see, we attach bravery and courage and valor with war. But let me tell you, only stupid and silly people can begin a war. And only wise people can end a war and bring about long-term peace. And both need to rise above their individual egos. It's not a you versus me versus us and them situation that I'm talking about. It's not that rhetoric that I'm
Let me get in a point of view. Let me get in a point of view.
We are very grateful. हम पागल खाने से बच गए हैं. हाँ, हम बच गए पागल खाने से. सारे पागल हो गए यार इंडिया के अंदर. सर फिर गया सारों का. और जी भी तुम लोगों का. Do not underestimate Pakistan's retaliatory powers. Your military is just nothing as compared to ours. So know whom you trying to take पंगा with. औकात देखकर चिलमन के पीछे शर्मा रहे हो. You blushing. Come face us. Stare us in the eye. If you have the courage, then sit down and talk. Because Mr. Imran Khan's condition is that you will not be addressed. Your concerns will not be addressed unless you sit down and talk. So when he's invited you so many times to establish a forum, then being made enough to come and face us.
So what in the world are you talking about? What is Imran Khan, your Prime Minister, talking about?
Imran Khan, the Prime Minister, is talking about the fact that ever since he got elected into office, India has never had talks with him. You keep on saying, oh, we requested, send this and that man, get this and that man arrested. Have you ever made a formal request to Prime Minister Imran Khan? No. When you were about to make a request, you cancelled the dialogues. You could have done that through the dialogue. So he's invited you once again to be strong enough to face him and sit on the table. General S.P. Sinha, before you spew any hatred, know what I'm saying.
Half a kilometer from Pakistan military academy. Deny it.
But Imran Khan was not the Prime Minister at that time. Ever since Mr. Imran Khan became the Prime Minister, have you had the courage to face him? No! चिलमन के पीछे छुपे रहे हो तुम लोग. चिलमन के पीछे शर्मा रहे हो. You blushing. Come face us. Stare us in the eye. If you have the courage, then sit down and talk. Because Mr. Imran Khan's condition is that you will not be addressed. Your concerns will not be addressed unless you sit down and talk. So when he's invited you so many times to establish a forum, then being made enough to come and face us.
Killed all the people, dragged his remains and threw them off an American aircraft carrier.
How does that concern Mr. Imran Khan? I'm talking about the incumbent Prime Minister. Ever since the PTI government came into power, you've never had talks with them. You are only showing your nakhra, diva behavior, tantrums.
Terrorists and the
Sit down!
of the Americans.
Sit down like good school children and then listen and learn to listen. That is one skill that you people seriously lack. Listening skills and communication skills. All you know is chest thumping jingoism. So enough of it. Even Amnesty International has urged India today to stop victimizing Kashmiris and Pakistanis in India who are there on valid visas and Kashmiris who are in Srinagar in Indian occupied Kashmir. Stop the witch hunt.
In 2008,
Mend your ways.
we played that dossier game for almost
Straighten up your act.
10 years. We played a dossier game till we did the Had in Pathankot, where we said, "आप आके देख लीजिए, investigate कर लीजिए कि terror attack हुआ नहीं था." That's across governments. We played that game. Now, this man wants to buy time. When do we realize that?
But no one is playing any games here. We are only talking facts. If you have the courage and the guts, stop shouting on television and come onto the ground, face the ground reality. Your jawans have died because of your stubbornness. How many more such tragic incidents can you withstand? Because it's enough.
He has basically, we will retaliate, we will fight, you start the fight, we will finish it. Second thing he said.
Very good. Yes, very good. And do not underestimate Pakistan's retaliatory powers. Your military is just nothing as compared to ours. So know whom you trying to take पंगा with. औकात देखकर.
And secondly, that two-nation theory concept which is falling apart Reason being, the Bengali Muslims have moved out. So, and every time you look at the
two-nation theory fell apart long time.
What I'm saying, every time Pakistan, what does Pakistan say? They say that.
You say two-nation theory has fallen out?
Munib Qadir, on the basis that Pakistan does not commit terror attacks, you are also the victim of terror.
It so doesn't.
We want peace, we want talks, and we are brothers. Let me ask you a simple question.
True. Yeah.
If India and Pakistan today can live in peace, what was the need for Jinnah's partition?
I think clearly the Indians are showing us why we needed partition. Just looking at the Indian media, I wrote somewhere 2 days ago, thank you Jinnah for giving us Pakistan. I cannot thank you enough, your future generations cannot thank you enough. Right now, Amnesty International has categorically stated that the situation in India against Muslims is alarming as an aftermath of the Pulwama attack.
We are also very grateful because all the crazy...
No, we are also very grateful. We are very grateful. हम पागल खाने से बच गए हैं. हम बच गए बादल खाने से. सारे बादल हो गए यार इंडिया के अंदर. सर फिर गया सारों का. और जी भी तुम लोगों का.
Because there is no other reason for your existence. The only reason you exist is because you hate Indians. That's what you teach your children in school.
Oh no, I didn't learn that at school, but you teach the same thing to your audiences. You are actually encouraging acts of terrorism in some other country. You are teaching on a television channel that in our southwestern region in Pakistan, you will be setting up a government in exile. You are trying to trespass onto our Pakistani sovereign territory. Bigger mistake can never have been committed by anyone if they thought so. You people are mistaken. You are delusional. You need to wake up. You can never dare to touch Pakistan. Our Prime Minister Imran Khan has told and said categorically today that retaliation is going to be stronger in force than what you can even imagine. So don't you dare! And don't you dare preach such violation of international legal commitments.
मुनीब कादिर 71 याद है.
सब याद है. और 71 में भी बांग्लादेश ने तुम लोगों को नहीं ज्वाइन किया. बांग्लादेश ने अपने आप को तुम लोगों से लगा किया. उन्होंने कहा चलो पाकिस्तान से लगा हुई इंडिया नाम के पागल खाने में वापस नहीं जाना. तो बांग्लादेश चौथा है. It did not join India. So that was still not a victory for you. You still did not get that part of the land within the subcontinent. And now today you are lagging behind because of internal politics. The question is, who beats International? I remember that you beat International. Yes, I remember you beat International. You should be ashamed of it. Ashamed of it. It is a violation of Article 2 of the UN Charter, for which there are no defenses, for which there is no excuse. Unless you do that under security authorization. So you should be ashamed of it.
3 weeks.
You obviously want to come into Lahore, but the point is Lahoris have no interest in India. That has always been your way, trying to trespass onto our territory, but don't think of committing the same mistake twice. Don't, because first of all we were decent. The second time, oh my God, you can't imagine what we could do.
Jailed is today his daughter is the Prime Minister of a country that is free, is one of the world's fastest growing and one of the world's most populous Muslim nations. That's the liberation, and that was the capacity of Niazi.
No, but why did Bangladesh not join you? Why did Bangladesh not join you? Why is Bangladesh an independent country? Clearly, India did not have a lot of appeal. Those people knew that by joining India, they would not be getting any rights whatsoever. Oh, and yes, they have been proven to be true. India is the worst country when it comes to human rights. Your liberals cannot even express their opinion that this warfare that you are trying to encourage on television should not be encouraged. There's a crackdown on liberals in the aftermath to Pulwama. Anyone who dissents, you call him a traitor and you imprison them. So many people have been made to disappear in India as a fallout of the Pulwama incident. Cash those who are the perpetrators of the Pulwama accident, not your liberals, not your intellectuals. You label them as urban exiles, you label them as traitors, you label them as pro-Pakistani, tukre gang, and you wreak havoc upon people and their rights. You victimize people. Muslims are being victimized. Kashmiris are being victimized. They were already being victimized, and now after 14 February, it's just worsened. Everyone wants to run away from India. It's turned into a mental asylum.
Attack has to be launched against Pakistan at international level, diplomatic level, economic level,
No, but then why is it that the rest of the international community is forging more and more and more and more and more deeper integration with Pakistan? Saudi Prince,
It might not be personally
Germany,
your fault, but you don't know what's
USA,
going to happen now.
UK, inviting the Pakistani government to host Kashmir talks and conference in House of Commons. So you can never isolate Pakistan. The only thing you can do is cut off trade ties with Pakistan, on which Pakistan is already not very dependent.
Government of the day to drop the list.
So keep on living in the delusion that you are living in. Keep on living in the rock that you're living in.
It is
This
not
next level paranoia.
And you have Iran by your side on the other side, and you can take help from Iran. Tajikistan is also there, where you have your own.
But they will never show up for help. They will never show up for help. They will only send you to the war zone and only to be defeated in a most humiliating manner by Pakistan. So you will face the most humiliating defeat in history if you ever try to take Panga with Pakistan.
I'm also
Panga nahi lene
saying
ka.
something. Okay.
कह दिया मैंने मतलब you could show some humanity. A tragedy has taken place on 14th February. You could find a common ground on which to talk to Pakistan. How difficult is it? Our Prime Minister has in the most dignified manner invited you for talks. Our Foreign Minister Mr. Shah Mahmood Qureshi has even launched a complaint to the UN Secretary General that the kind of language that you're using is very offensive.
Third, fourth largest economy in the world, right? Heading in nominal terms, fifth largest economy, third largest army, this, that. But in the end, it depends upon gumption, what you want to do with it.
You might have the largest army but the smallest brains. I'm sorry to say that, but you've got the smallest brains right now. Because you're only thinking about, jingoism, populism, the kind of rhetoric which will appeal to the public. But what long-term benefits would it
no
bring?
compromises to be made.
The worst amounts of civilian and even military deaths have been experienced during Modi's failed rule. How many more shocks do you want to go through before you wake up? To a reasonable observer such as I, the facts speak for themselves.
That they buckle down under pressure.
So you need to introspect, as our Prime Minister, Mr. Imran Khan has said.
Just eat up Pakistan.
And also, Prime Minister Modi needs to learn how to speak to the public and how to address the public for our Prime Minister. He clearly lacks those skills.
They will exhaust their ammunition.
They'll run out of ammunition, and we know they don't have ammunition.
Your Prime Minister Modi is going to lose the elections.
1,000 prisoners.
He is going to lose the elections.
They just run out of ammunition.
Why are you still in denial about it?
We are not in denial. Alright, I hope that you have the patience to at least let me finish my sentence. First of all, Pakistan and the rest of the world, no one has denied that an attack has been carried out by the organization that you've named, and who knows where these people live, on what soil they are present, but that does not make it a state-sponsored act.
And you're saying give me proof and ask me politely?
No one is asked. They are asking for proof. No. Mr. Imran Khan has asked, give us a proof that Pakistan was involved. If you have any proof that Pakistan was involved rather than non-state actors, give us the proof. And if you don't have the proof, then collaborate with us, start talks with us, so that we can track down all the malefactors. If you don't do that, it means that you are yourselves involved in it, and you don't want these malefactors to be caught, because perhaps India is sponsoring these people, not Pakistan. So stop with your false allegations. Enough is enough.
आप बस भागा तक ले आइए,
Stop it.
काम संभाल लेंगे, ले आइए ना,
Bad behavior.
तो भेज दीजिए उनको.
I've told you already that Pakistan has denied that it had any role in this. Pakistan has denied that any of this was state-sponsored. The malefactors need to be caught collectively. What language do you understand? If you do not know English or Urdu correctly, then that's your fault, not Pakistan's.
Until the people in Pakistan now start absorbing that their military has lost all the wars it's fought, it's wrecked the nation.
No! Right now your military is under threat. As you've seen clearly, we haven't lost any more. Shukar hai, we are living under a lot of peace in Pakistan, thankfully. Right now, India is under an apocalypse. So more the reason you should actually appreciate the helping hand that our Prime Minister has extended today. And you should respect that. And rather than, using derogatory language, sharam nahi aati.
There are lots of people who
Na shukar guzari.
Practical ideas, suggestions.
Ehsan faramosh.
Call up the friends in the BCC.
अच्छे बच्चे इस तरह से behave करते हैं क्या?
I'm sure many of
Be a good kid. Be a good child. Straighten up your act.